Okay, I've got a question for you. Do animals ever think about the past? They have mechanisms that allow them to learn from their experiences, but it doesn't seem like they actively ruminate about their past experiences, that it just instinctively influences their behavior in the present moment. And I don't think that they understand the concept of the future at all. This is all, of course, speculative, as we don't have the technology to get a live feed of exactly what's going on in a pig's brain yet, though I hear Elon Musk's working on it. In light of that, it seems that we might be the only species on Earth that thinks in these two temporal dimensional directions regarding time in an intentional way. And both directions have this magical effect. Memories seem hazy and mysterious, particularly memories or things that you remember from when your brain was primarily forming and maturing. Like right here, I conjured forth an image from your dreams and memories. This video was uploaded in 2010. Some of you hadn't even been born yet. For context as to how early in Minecraft history this is, this guy built this in a version of creative mode where you couldn't even fly yet. He used block scaffolding to manually place all of this. Many of you have to understand that seeing a video like this is a pivotal moment for me. The idea of building larger-than-life things in a game, infinitely larger than your character's own pixelated body, called to my soul. This video was one of the seeds of Genesis that inspired my way of thinking in Minecraft that would eventually lead to ideas like building the entire Earth 1-to-1 scale. But where are they now? What happened to this grandiose, almost sexually appealing cobblestone outline? From what I remember, shortly after seeing that video, I checked them out, and they had made the exterior and were working on real, fully detailed interiors for like ever. And then we never heard from them again. It's been over 10 years. Did they finish? What other sort of psycho Minecraft concoctions from the secret cabal of Minecraft sci-fi occultist magicians conjured in such a large span of time? Well, I'm here to tell you that after years of blood, sweat, and tears, they finally accomplished their mission. Star Trek's Enterprise D, 1-to-1 scale with fully furnished interiors. I would know. I went in and you could wander the ship for hours. The interior was done as accurately as possible. Andrew Probert designed the interior of the Enterprise D, and this ship is based on those plans. But Star Trek rehired and improved the interior designs of the Enterprise D, which left the team with a little problem. Their ship was outdated. So what do? It leads to another round of years of blood, sweat, and tears, culminating in a second 1-to-1 scale, even more accurate Enterprise D with fully furnished interiors based on Star Trek's upgraded designs. This is blowing my mind right now. It would be like if Build the Earth finished the entire planet and then wanted to do it again. And that's exactly why the team at TrekCraft decided to build a third 1-to-1 scale, fully finished Enterprise D with even better accuracy, shape, and aesthetics with fully furnished interiors. I can't even believe this. But there was a good reason for this third version. You see that black line on the underbelly of the ship? The ship can actually separate there in the show. It becomes two different ships that usually separate civilians from military personnel, or whatever you call it. This cinematic sequence in the show was so expensive, it was done like 3.7 times, as many times as they've built it in Minecraft. But this third version isn't complete, and the servers move from Minecraft version 1.12.2 to 1.16.5 has gutted the poor ship's interiors and set them back somewhat. They estimate the time of completion for the third version of the Enterprise D in 2 months, I think. Or maybe it was 2 decades? I wasn't paying attention. It's definitely somewhere within those 2 time spans. One other really cool thing you can do with these ships in regards to splitting them up is exposing full views of the interiors. You get glimpses of this when you're loading the entire ship up, and it exposes the inside for a second. Let's remove part of the ship with World Edit and get a better look at this. It's hard to describe this with words. It's so visually appealing to see this. I moved to say that the ship feels like cake, and it's making me hungry. I don't watch Star Trek. I'm not a Star Trek fan, but suddenly now I want an Enterprise D cake for my birthday. I wonder what this effect would look like if we used TNT. No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to defile the ships like that. But where have these ships been? I'm going to outsource that research to our head of HR department, Parzival.
Thank you, Pippin. So after the destruction of the original Enterprise, model NCC 1701 in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, the United Federation of Planets immediately began work on a new Star Trek.
No one wants to hear that nerd shit. football. So that original video that we've all seen of this hulking monster was amazing, no doubt. But I bet you didn't know that they had fully finished it with accurate interiors. And I bet you didn't know that they decided to build it 2 more times, again, for fun, each one better than the previous iteration. Sober expectations estimate for people to give up on such a titanic and massive undertaking, but these guys defy the odds and human nature with the force of their willpower. Their creative process is insane. At Build the Earth, we have this wonderful little tool called TPLL. It's how literally everything is made. Copy the coordinates at a point, TPLL in-game, and put the block there. Do that again, then make a line between the two. The Trekcraft builders have no such thing. They have to look at these musty, dusty, cool architectural designs they found deep into the internet, take the written dimensions for the shapes, and make world edit shapes for them if they're fortunate. But if they're not, have to do some really complicated math to get it accurate. The same process takes place for the interiors, which is why these things take years. Not just one, but 3 different versions of the Enterprise D over the 13 years since they started is a legacy to be proud of. But that's not where it stops. In case you thought that these 3 monolith spaceships weren't enough, they've built even more. The NX class and the Columbia class Enterprise, Constitution class Enterprise from multiple eras, Construction refit and Excelsior refit class, the Probert Ambassador class, Galaxy class, and Sovereign class, all full 1-to-1 scale recreations of the gigantic starships from Star Trek, combining into a massive fleet of warships in Minecraft space, capable of challenging Notch himself. All in all, the team has started 54 different spaceships from Star Trek and have fully completed a large portion of them. And it doesn't end with the Trek universe. Trekcraft has begun flirting with a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, building 2 different versions of the Millennium Falcon since they couldn't keep it consistent across the franchise. Consular class cruiser from Episode 1, Ghost from Rebels, Firefly, several ships from The Mandalorian, all 1-to-1 scale. Seeing all of these ships puts a lot of things in perspective for me and how awkward our generation is. We were born too late to be real pirates and too early to be space pirates. While it's true that our generation, our children, and maybe even our children's children might not make it to the point of being able to fully explore the vastness of the infinite realm beyond our atmosphere, things like an infinitely explorable space dimension within Minecraft, enhanced for realism, or something resembling that, can and will be achieved during our lifetime. Sometime during our life, you and I will be able to cascade through virtual dust clouds, gigantic bodies that embody the prequel phase to the formation of a star. We can witness supernovas, alien civilizations, the vastness of galaxies, and we can do it within these ships as they soar through the infinite myriad of galaxies with untold possibilities. Planetary formations, primitive civilizations, and things that you and I cannot even imagine or fathom just because it's so outside our scope of macro experience in this reality. That's around the corner for us. And these guys building their fleets of starships are bringing us one step closer to that unbelievable journey. And as amazing as it would be to do it for real, I f***ing love video games and absolutely want to live long enough to see the creative envelope and frontier of possibility pushed this far, merging Build the Earth and Build the Universe into one shared reality, fully explorable and swimmable to any gas giant, white dwarf, or fully civilized galaxy far, far away. When I think about the things that matter in my life and what keeps me getting up every morning, it's things like that. The bright future that we have ahead of us as a species. And while I think that we could probably be moving faster in terms of capability on the actual final frontier, doing it in the virtual world makes me just as hopeful and excited. And if Marvel is right about dreaming being quantum connections between consciousnesses across the multiverse and infinite possibilities, then I'm hoping that the future I dream about is ours, just around the river bend. Dozens and dozens of hours went into the cinematics you saw in this video. A majority of those hours ending up producing failed results because this was such a hard and complex project to cover. A huge thanks to our top patrons Megan Leckie, Almighty Svet, Walker Army, Bibbin Randall, Ekalise, Ji Yang, Pixie Gum, and Coco Pingus 98 for supporting my endeavors in exploring the Minecraft universe. If you want to hear me say your amazing and beautiful name at the end of every video, consider becoming a tier 5 patron on the Build the Earth or PippenMC Patreon. And too early to be space pirates. While it's true, butt pirates?